Imagine trying to support a family of 4 on low income in conditions that are almost uninhabitable. You work at a factory, and one day you're just going about your day when the bracelet on your wrist that your 5-year-old daughter likes to wear gets caught on a piece of machinery. You are jerked forward and your arm is mangled off. You can't work for months. How are you going to be able to afford to support your family?
12 workers die on the job every day in this country, and it doesn't even make local headlines.
Employers don't compensate nearly enough for situations like these. A decline in medical benefits for injured workers has contributed to a drop in workers' compensation costs in the United States. Injured workers are not getting the reimbursement they deserve.
Fatality count for 2005, 5,734.
In North Carolina, a Slim Jim plant exploded from a gas line and killed 4 workers and laid off 400. This infects the entire community. In Jacksonville, Florida, a T2 laboratory exploded and killed 4 workers and laid off all of the rest, meaning that the whole community is affected. In Washington, Pennsylvania, a 29-year-old named Carl Peck fell off the roof to his death while he was working. His company did not require the use of regulatory safety equipment. Now he is left behind a widow and 2 small children. His employer was charged in federal court and was guilty, and he has a 3-year probation and a 6-month home detention, plus the funeral expenses.
Oftentimes what really happens is that regulations are lax and employers ignore major safety hazards. I mean, really, in North Carolina there was this huge Slim Jim plant explosion that killed 4 people. It didn't just kill 4 people, it laid off 400. That's 0.049% of Indianapolis. Whoa, and imagine this explosion happened over holiday season. That's 4 families that don't get to spend it with their loved ones. This problem could have been prevented with the few simple gas line inspections implemented by the employers. Gosh darn those employers.
Employers are blinded by ignorance and irresponsibility, not realizing what the greed is doing to the employees. Imagine the job of a babysitter. Comparatively, the babysitter represents the employer, watching over the kids or the workers, making sure they stay uninjured and safe. If you were to hire a babysitter, you'd want one who actually watches and takes care of the kids, not one that sits and watches TV while the kids play with the kitchen cutlery. The children, innocent and uneducated, are obeying the sitter without question, whether it is safe or not. If the employer isn't taking proper responsibility for the workers, how will they know their rights? The babysitter still gets paid, while the workers are without benefit.
Imagine that you are going through the drive-thru at Wendy's and they get your order wrong. I mean, come on, you're a regular. All you asked for was extra pickles and no mayo. But what did they give you? Extra mayo and no pickles. Why does the world treat you this way? You blame the fry cook. I mean, obviously he wasn't trained, right? And so shouldn't you blame the employer? What else wasn't he educated about? His rights. That very same fry cook could slip in grease or burn himself on the grill. Unless he's educated about his rights and compensation, or how to work the fryer, he might not get reimbursement, or he might not even bring the injury to the company's attention. If we could locate accident-prone companies, we could contact the workers and management at risk of injury and educate them on their right. We could contact the OSHA and ask them to create standards for businesses pertaining to worker safety. But that would just take at least 2 years to put into action. If we could bring this problem to the workers' attention, they could put this to action.
Slim Jim plant, popcorn workers. These examples have nothing to do with each other, and they're so far from your own life, but that could be you next week, even if you don't work in a factory. How would you want your employer to handle this? If a worker dies on the job, the maximum that they'll ever have to pay is $7,000. Is your life worth $7,000 or even less? Yeah, I thought so.